They say don't judge a book by its cover. But Miranda Priestley, she understood something that most business authors still underestimate. And that's that visual presentation changes how seriously people take you before you ever open your mouth.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with karma, your morning feels just right.
The frustrating part is that most potential readers aren't consciously analyzing your book cover and going, that doesn't look whatever. No, they're not doing that at all. They're reacting instinctively. The same way Miranda could tell an entire story from one sweater choice. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established experts write the right book so that they don't waste years, blood, sweat, and tears writing the wrong book that just sits there and collects digital dust. Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video, comment below, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to my channel so that the YouTube algorithm and people like you who want to grow their business with books can find all the good stuff that's right here on this channel. So let's get going with the 3 lessons that you can take away from watching the first Devil Wears Prada film. Number 1, people love to say content matters most. However, visual presentation determines whether many readers ever trust your content enough to engage with it. Your cover decides whether someone clicks through on Amazon to even look if they want to buy it or not. It determines whether someone picks up your book at a bookstore. Wherever the buying decision is happening in your reader, your cover is their first impression of your content. And if it doesn't say this is for you, they won't pick it up. So here's a tiny action that you can take. Shrink your cover to thumbnail size on your phone, on your laptop, wherever. If the title becomes hard to read or visually confusing, your authority signal weakens immediately. Fix it. That does not mean the entire title needs to be seen. For example, what's the first word you see? Fast. Then you see forward, and then there's all this other stuff that you may or may not be able to read at this point. Here's another one. This one's probably not a great example. Honestly, there are a lot of things about this cover that could be improved. I would make this bolder and easier to read. One more. One more. Honestly, I haven't read this book, but I'd still recommend it because I can't wait to read it. 10x. Doesn't that grab your attention? 10x is easier than 2. You're like 10x, 2x? What? Then you read these because you see these two things first. It grabs your attention. And on top of that, the navy blue with the gold and white, those are authority signals in the business space. So do that tiny action. Shrink the thumbnail size and take a look. What is your book saying when it's teeny tiny? Point number 2, the strongest business books don't just look pretty. You saw the 3 covers I gave you. They're not just pretty. They're not just attractive. They visually match the level of leadership, precision, and confidence the author wants associated with their brand. So how do you get that for yourself? Here's your tiny action. Put your book beside 3 other books written by experts in your market that you admire. Notice what feels aligned and what feels less established. Again, which book looks more authoritative? Now, I'm going to lean toward this book. It just screams to me, I know how to help you. This one, although written for a business audience, screams textbook. Not the same thing. Not that it's not authoritative, but it doesn't speak to the same audience. All right, let's move on to number 3. Your book cover is doing exactly what Miranda described in the cerulean sweater speech. It is signaling layers of positioning decisions your audience reads instantly, even if they can't explain why. As you were determining your idea, writing your outline, writing your book, you were making positioning decisions all along the way. And if you were making them consciously, they should be reflected in your cover. But if you made them unconsciously, they also are reflected in your cover and they're reflected in your marketing. This is why in earlier episodes this week, I kept saying be intentional with how you design your cover. So here's a tiny action you can take. Ask someone unfamiliar with your work to describe the kind of expert they expect based solely on your cover. Their answer will tell you a lot. In fact, you might want to take your name off the cover and just say, hey, who do you think wrote this book? What kind of person wrote this book? And again, the person needs to be someone who's not familiar with you or your work. They're being shown a cover and they're judging the book by it. Their answer is telling. So there you go. 3 lessons from The Devil Wears Prada with 3 tiny actions that can help you make a better book cover that positions you better for your ideal readers. Now, in my next video, I will be talking about 5 book positioning shifts that make launches work. Yes, next week I'll be talking about launching your book because after the cover comes the launch. Until then, this is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.
Bloopers!
I forgot my mug today. Oops. And I actually did make the coffee, which means it's sitting on the coffee maker getting cold. I've been a little distracted this morning, which is why I'm getting a little bit of a late start. All right, let's get going with today's episode. Okay. I forgot to plug in my microphone too. Gosh. Hello, Karma. Wake up and smell the coffee. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Let's see. Are you hearing me? Is this working? Testing, testing. Okay. Hopefully this is working. Oh my Lord. All right. Now I'm ready to get started. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, gee, it's great to start your day with coffee with Karma today. All right. It is signaling layers of positioning. Blah, blah. I can talk. Let me try that again.